Hi friends. Today is a busy day for me, so I thought it would be helpful to show you what my mornings look like when I have a lot to get done, and how I make slow living work even during busy periods of life. I hope you enjoy. Alright friends, I am ready for the day. It is a dark and a super gloomy day, so it's gonna be interesting filming this. As you can see, I really do take my time and sit here and do my skincare and all of that stuff, and I try my best not to feel rushed, even though I know the day ahead of me is going to be a little bit more on the rushed side. I make sure that I carve out enough time in the morning to have my morning routine. So this is the time where I don't need to rush, even though my anxieties are probably telling me, oh my gosh, you have so many things you have to get done. This is my me time, this is my slow time, and so I definitely have more than enough time to get my skincare on without needing to rush, especially because my skincare routine isn't too intensive. But yeah, I am all set for the day. All right, let's go. I know this looks like it probably will go bad when I have the bag in the freezer like that, but trust me, nothing happens. I go through these so fast that it's absolutely fine to just put the bag in the freezer like that. These, by the way, are from Pop-Up Bagels. Another thing about my morning routine is that it more or less stays exactly the same. So because I'm so consistent with it, I'm really able to ease through each of the things that I have in my morning routine. And I don't know, it's just comforting, it's safe, it's like my time, like I mentioned earlier, but it's like a good handful of the same things. So it's skincare, which includes me using the eye masks. I love doing that in the morning, especially. Vacuuming, tidying up the space a little bit. Nothing too intense there, just like 5 minutes of tidying up. Getting my water, of course, which is my mini dew. It's the Moon Juice Mini Dew. Right now I'm trying the watermelon flavor, but I want to try the new flavor. It's a pomelo, which I love citrus. So yeah, I just make this and then I sip on this throughout the morning. Of course, I have my breakfast, and then the last thing is actually a new thing. I know I just said that I keep them the same, but this recent new thing has been swapped out with my 10 minutes of reading, and I will admit, I did not anticipate that happening. I didn't actually want that to happen, but it just happened because of the timing that I set aside for my morning routine. I didn't set aside an additional amount of time to include this plus my 10 minutes of reading, if that makes sense. So it just naturally swapped. And so I'm trying to figure out a way to include my 10 minutes of reading a day back into my routine again, which it seems like the only plausible solution there is just to add 10-15 minutes to my morning routine. We'll see what happens. What I have added, sorry, I just sneezed like 10 times in a row, but what I added is my morning pages. If you've been on the channel before, you know I've been talking about the morning pages quite a lot, but it's essentially just 3 pages of free flow writing, no thought behind it, just kind of letting the pen take you where it takes you for 3 whole pages, and it takes me about 10 minutes now to do, so that's why it's the perfect swap from my 10 minutes of reading. But I really do want to get back into that routine because I haven't read in like a week now because of that. The last time I read was just me sitting down on the couch after work and like forcing myself to do it, so I definitely have to figure that out. But let me start doing these 3 pages. Okay, that took me exactly 10 minutes to do, and now I just have like a couple of minutes before I have to go log on. So I'm going to open up my journal and see what we've got going on. I have so many things that I have to do this week, and so because I'm going to be in New York City all day tomorrow, which has already passed when you're watching this video, that kind of takes away an entire day for me when it comes to doing stuff on the computer and what have you, because I'm going to be in my office that day, and so I'm just gonna be busy doing that kind of stuff. So long story short, I just need to like prepare in the days before that, which is today and yesterday, to make sure that everything is all complete, if that makes sense. Okay, anyway, so this is what I have going on this week. I have a newsletter, which that already went out, but I had to write it and post it. I have 2 YouTube videos, of course. I have this video going out, and then I have another one that I want to film today. I want to get to the Artist's Way this week, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to, and that's okay. So that's kind of like a maybe to do point on this list. I want to touch on my Q1 checklist because we officially have less than a month before our quarterly review, so I just want to at least take a look at it this week. I have the podcast. Our podcast is going into its season 3, and it premieres this week, and it premieres the day that I'm going to be in New York City. So this is the one that's going to be taking so much more prep than usual because I tend to split up my podcast work on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but because I'm not going to be here on Wednesday, it's got to get all done on Monday and Tuesday. So that's going to be the big one. And then we have to start our taxes. I am not looking forward to that. I don't think anybody looks forward to that, but yeah, I have to do my taxes as well. And then I have some doctor's appointments. Like I said, I'm going to go to New York tomorrow, and I'm also prepping for a trip, which I'll tell you about soon. But yeah, lots of stuff in just a short amount of days, and one day kind of being X'd off there. Let's get into all the things that I want to get done for today to ensure that I'm all set up for tomorrow. And if you couldn't tell, oh my gosh, it's so dark. I'm going to take you a little bit through my morning that includes more than just my usual, oh my gosh, it's so dark. More than just my usual morning routine handful of things. I am just going to open these up because I kind of want to show you how I balance my actual little short morning routine with work and how I kind of implement slow living practices in between my actual morning routine and starting work, getting coffee, and things like that. Another technique that I use to kind of balance my slow living practices along with a busy day is just figuring out the pace of my day. And you'll see it in this morning routine, of course, but I like to segment certain tasks off, and it's kind of like calendar blocking if you think about it in that way, so that I can lean on that to make sure that I'm getting X, Y, and Z task done in this part of the day, and then I can stop, take a break, and then move on to the next segment of things. And I try to organize it by category, and I know that sounds overwhelming at this point, but I promise you it's not that bad. So for example, what you'll see this morning is that I am going to segment things off by like level of importance. So I talked about it before, but the podcast is really important today because I won't be able to work on it tomorrow. And so I want to make sure that I get that done and squared away before anything else. So that's what I'm going to start working on right now. You might be able to see it on my screen, but I have my Notion pulled up for my podcast. I'm going to start working on that. Once I complete that, so there's a time block for that, then we'll take a break, we'll pause, and we'll implement some slow living practices, and then it just moves on from there, which you'll see in this video. So I'm kind of giving you a foreshadowing of what to expect in this video, but that's essentially how I make it work. I just think that it's super effective for me, and to me, it's actually a really simple technique because often my days don't need to be segmented too much like that, because often I, schedule things out so that I'm not busy all the time, but busy periods in life happen, and so you just kind of make it work every once in a while, which is exactly what I'm doing today. Okay, so I pretty much did everything that I can do when it comes to the podcast. I have the episode page all ready to go. I have my link in bio up so that I can update that later. I also have to update this later, and I also scheduled all of our Instagram posts to go live tomorrow because I do a discussion post for every new episode, so that's all set. Now I'm going to take a little break. Oh, wait. There they are. I'm going to take a little break and make myself some coffee. I was planning on making a latte, but to be honest with you, the beans that I have they're not good. So I'm thinking I'm just going to make regular drip coffee and just add milk. I have almond milk in here, unsweetened, plain, and then I'm going to try this caramel syrup. I'm going to use my favorite mug that I've been using, and I think I'm going to add the syrup to the bottom of this so that when the coffee pours into it, it'll all kind of mix together. Just want a little bit. Yeah, that's definitely enough. I think it's about a teaspoon. I don't like things super sweet. And I'm actually going to add the milk, probably not all of it, but maybe half of what I had in there. Give it a nice little swirl. I like to consider this me making like a flavored milk for the coffee, basically. I don't want to use all of it because the amount that I had put in the frother was to froth it, obviously. And the coffee that I'm using is, from Trader Joe's. All right, let's taste test this. By the way, the coffee at Trader Joe's, they have some really good coffee that's affordable. Oh yeah, that's really good. It gave it like a nice subtle hint of caramel. Of course, I didn't put too much of it in, but it's just enough. And it's not too syrupy sweet, which I was kind of scared of when switching from like a creamer to a syrup. This is going to be so good in an iced latte for the summer. This would be really good in a latte as well. It's just, I need to get better beans. Okay, so I have actually had such a productive morning and I don't feel overwhelmed even though I've done so much. I've done my morning routine like I always do, which I feel like sets me up for a really good day and puts me in a positive mindset. And then, of course, I logged on, I got some work done there for my 9 to 5, and meanwhile, I also did some work for the podcast, which was pretty much, I did 99% of what I needed to do for the podcast. The only 1% that I didn't do, I don't know if you can see Logan, but the 1% that I didn't do, I'm going to do this evening because it just makes sense to do it later in the evening. I'm just updating my website and I don't want to update it too early, so it confuses people if they were to check out the website today. So essentially, I did everything that I needed to get done for the podcast, got so many other things done, and I'm still able to stop, take a second, make my coffee, and stand here and chat with you and sip on this slowly without feeling like, oh my gosh, I need to scramble to get the next thing done. And I also want to reiterate that this is technically a break. Making your coffee is a break, even if it's just like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe it's a little bit more if you want to slow it down even more. But this is a break, and breaks are so important no matter what size they are, because it allows you to reset your brain for a second, especially if you're someone that's on the computer all day long like me. This is just so needed, and I think breaks and segments are a really easy and accessible way to kind of look at your day without feeling super overwhelmed. And this is why I lean on my productivity tools as well. They're lifesavers for me, so I'm not like a tiny ball of chaos right now. I just remember back in the day, like if I had a day like today with the enormous to-do list that I have, I would feel overwhelmed from the second that my eyes open, and I would be exhausted by the end of the day. I'm not saying that I'm not going to be very tired by the end of today, because the work that I have to do today is going to take a lot of mental capacity from me, but once again, balancing things out. And I know that I'm going to be ordering takeout later today, so that's one thing crossed off of my to-do list where I don't have to do too much work to put too much effort into it, which I'm basically hinting at is cooking. I'm not going to be cooking, so balance is necessary. Okay, so that segment is out of the way. Let's move on to the next segment, which is once again off of the screen, so bless. And I've divided it this way on purpose because I knew I was going to be staring very intensely at my screen very early in the morning. So let's move on to the next thing that I have to do this morning. Okay, technically I don't have to do anything here. I just wanted to show you. Oh, I'm trying to yank this out because the tripod's in the way, but I'm essentially getting my outfit ready for tomorrow for going into the office. I like to plan my outfits, surprise, but I am essentially going with these trousers. I love these trousers because they are light. They have like a stretchy at the waist and they cinch there, but then they kind of flow loosely for the rest of it, obviously. And then it kind of cuffs closer together at the end. So they fit perfectly. Where did I get this from? I got this way back. It looks like I got it from H&M, and I got this way back when I used to be in the office all the time. So yeah, that's where I got that from. And then I'm going to pair it with this sweater, which I think is also H&M. These pieces I've had for like 5 to 7, maybe longer years. So I've had them for a really long time and they've held up. So going with these two, this is just a crew neck. You've probably seen me wear this so often because it's like a basic that goes with everything, but going with those two, and then underneath it, I'm gonna wear a t-shirt, just a regular basic tee, and that's the fit. Very simple, and I believe it's going to rain all day tomorrow, so I'm going to pair this with some black rubber rain boots and a raincoat, and I think that will be the perfect, cozy, comfy, but you know, like somewhat professional outfit. And of course I'll be wearing like my jewelry and stuff to kind of dress it up. And yeah, fit is all ready to go. Actually, I need to take this with me because I need to wash it. I was trying it on yesterday to make sure that the fit was good, and I got some makeup on the collar over here, so I need to wash this. But yeah, this is all set to go. And then the last thing is to pack my bag for the office. Let's do that. Okay, so I am packing a bag to go into the office. I didn't anticipate bringing a large bag, but I think I'm just gonna go with a large bag because I do need to bring my laptop. So this is gonna sound weird, but I got this bag for Valentine's Day. Ian got me this bag, and it is the Calpac Luca duffel. I'm pretty sure this is like the trending bag all over the place, especially on TikTok right now, and I absolutely love the look of it. It's like padded, it's waterproof, it has like nice padded shoulders or handles so I can put it on my shoulder and it feels comfy. It's big, but it can be compact, so if I push it down it gets really slim, and so I think it's the perfect work bag if I'm going to be spending the entire day at work, but also I think it's the perfect carry-on bag not carry-on, or just like personal bag if you're going traveling. So I decided on this one because I like how it looks, I like that it's comfortable and waterproof, and I like that I can use it for multiple reasons, if that makes sense. Anyway, let's pack it. It has stuff in it already because I got so excited that I tested it out so many times after Ian got it for me and it showed up, that like I put a bunch of stuff in here and I haven't really gone anywhere but there's a lot of stuff in here. So I'm gonna take those things out and then we can actually pack it. I don't know if you can see it there. I don't think you can. Where can I put it so that you see it? I'll just hold it. Okay, I decided that holding it would probably be a terrible idea because it will get heavy and I'll be miserable. Okay, I think putting it here would make more sense. Sorry, Logan, but here we are. I'm gonna start with the essentials, and what I mean by essentials is just things that I always carry around with me. So you can see that I have my little Uniqlo bag here. I'm just gonna like transfer stuff from here into here. First thing, we've got my wallet, of course. I think I'll put that in the front. There's a pocket, like a hidden pocket in the front, so that I can easily grab it, as well as my passport, because if you did not know, I do not have a state ID, I do not have a license, so I have to bring my passport around everywhere. Got some pills, which I can put inside. My body butter, this is solid, which I love because it doesn't spill in your bag. Hand sanitizer, a must. We've got a couple of lip balms. This one is the GlossierBalm.com in Hot Cocoa. And then this is the Rhode lip treatment. I believe this one is the Salted Caramel. It's almost done. I am so proud of myself. I've got this little Glossier. It's actually got, what does it have? Those pimple patch stickers in there. But what I like about it is that it has this mirror. So it's basically like a compact mirror that I can bring around with me. We've got a mask. This is a cloth mask, but I'm also going to bring like a surgical mask. Got my Bagoo. Why does it look like that? This is my Bagoo. I love this thing. Okay, I think those are my essentials. Very tiny things, so they just I just plop them in there. I'm thinking maybe I will have some downtime, so maybe I'll bring my Kindle. I have a feeling I won't actually use it, but we'll see. You know what? I know I won't use it because I'm reading this. So if I do get time to read, it would be this. Pretty sure I'm going to bring my iPad because I do use it for like productivity purposes. You all know that. I think I'll also bring a hat. Yeah, I think I'll bring a hat because like I said, it's going to be raining. So you never know. I have this in Tupperware, but I'm gonna take it out before I put it into the bag. But I got some candy for my coworkers from Bon Bon, which is a Swedish candy place in Manhattan. And it's very, very trendy and popular right now. So I just got like a big bag. It's not really big, but a full bag of candy to share with them. And I just wanted to put it in here to make sure that it was super fresh by the time I went. And I am definitely bringing this, which has my planner in it, all of my pens, highlighters, sketchbook, stuff like that. This is a must. Definitely bringing a portable charger. This works for my phone and my laptop, so I think that will be perfect. I have a feeling I'm going to be sipping on a lot of coffee, and they have coffee at the office, so I'm just going to bring my Yeti mug. I'm also going to bring my Stanley cup, and I can fit it in this pocket right here, but obviously I'm not going to do that right now because I'm using it today as well. And I think that's it. Let's see how heavy this is. Okay, so actually it's not heavy at all. It will get heavier once I put my Stanley cup in here, but it's not too heavy. Yeah, this is really comfortable, and as you can see, it looks big. It looks big, and especially because I'm a small human, but it doesn't look too big. It doesn't look like I'm going on a plane. It looks like I'm just going out, I think. And yeah, I don't know if you can see, I have my jacket here as well. This is the jacket that I'm going to use to go as well. And I think I'm all packed. I'm excited. I usually go to the office, which is in Manhattan. I live in New Jersey. I usually only go like once a year at most. So this is like my yearly going into the office. Maybe I'll go in some more this year. We'll see. But I'm excited to see my coworkers. It's really nice to like spend some time with them. And I think this particular visit is going to be a little bit more chill. So I will get to actually like chat with them and socialize and stuff. So that will be nice. As you can see, that was like a really nice break from the screens. I didn't even realize Miss Riley was there. As you can see, breaking things up and being intentional about how you break those things up in your routine can definitely do wonders and allow you the time and space to implement some slow living practices. As you can see, I still have my morning routine, like my usual handful of things that I do that really, really prioritize my joy and slow living. I had my little coffee break, which literally broke up my morning from one super busy segment that was intense on the computer to another segment where I got a break from the computer, and I did a lot of productive things still, but it wasn't necessarily on the screen. And so I was able to balance that out really well. And I'm just going to carry about my entire day in that same way. And that's essentially how I like to structure my days. So if you're ever curious as to how I get it done all in one day, that's pretty much it. Once I end this video off, I'm going to get straight into it once more, but I will make sure to take those occasional breaks and show myself some grace and things like that. So I hope this video was helpful. I know when I do vlogs, I feel like I'm all over the place and I'm a little bit frantic, but hopefully that did not show in today's video, because that would defeat the purpose. Maybe it's just what's going on in my head right now. Either way, I feel like we had a successful morning, and thank you so much for joining me on today's morning. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you in next week's video.